Hello, guys. I'm getting to that age where I start to make noise when I sit down and I stand up, and it's bothering me that I make that noise. uh, Hold on, we're going to change the lights here so that they're a little bit better. How's that? Oh, that's better. Okay, let's do that. Coffee. It's great. My lights are all set up nicely now. I do have my professional camera lights here. So that's all set up. I do have a bunch of notes written down on my phone as per usual. We're going to get into it, talk about business, all that jazz. Let's go. So I have had an extremely crazy week because I chose to take holidays for the first time in a couple of years to spend time with family. It was Mom's 60th birthday. The whole family, we went away to a wilderness resort out in the wild, spent time together. It was awesome. It was great. Fantastic. However, it was a sacrifice on the business side of things, which I knew going into it that I can't really afford to do that. I don't really have time to take 5 days off, but I think family, it's very important to prioritize family. Business is still here when I get back. Well, one of the downsides, though, is because I chose to spend time with family here, the ship kind of went a little bit wayward, and now I have to spend more time on business stuff, recorrecting course and figuring out some of that stuff. It's a cause of the choices that I chose to make. Now, the choices that I made, I think were healthy. They were very good. I think it's the correct thing to do, but there's consequences to all the choices that we make. You can't have the best of both worlds, so that is the ship that I'm in right now, correcting course, and it's taxing. It is very taxing. As I build this business, I'm still a young entrepreneur, business owner. This is not the first business that I've built, but it's the second one, and I'm just trying to do it bigger and better than I did the first one. I'm just learning lots of new things. I basically have to now create an onboarding process for the new guys that I'm hiring to help with my workload, because my workload is increasing quite fast. We'll get into that more later, but I have to create workflow and onboarding systems and stuff for new people coming on. That's a whole job in itself, just creating that, and that's not even something that I can hire someone else to do, I don't think, because I'm the person that knows what it needs to look like. If you're going to be an editor for me, I need to give you instructions on this is how I want stuff to get edited. I can't hire someone and be like, here, tell this person how I want things to be edited. Well, it's like you're hiring a middleman at that point. That doesn't make any sense to do. So I have a whole nother job now of just creating job procedures and all that kind of stuff. I wear all of the hats right now, and I'm trying to develop systems that I don't have to wear all of the hats to get stuff done. I'm trying to hire editors so that I can film stuff. I can be there with the people. I can have my editors process all of that content and create it into a product that has the Eppic stamp on it, and it's just a lot of work. And then I oversee all the editing stuff, so that final output of everything is what I want it to be. It's up to my standard of stuff. It's business, and we're learning how to do it, and it's a lot right now because I'm trying to do so many things, which includes this whole thing. This whole box that I'm sitting in right now is designed so that I can do business out of here, but I can do it anywhere in the world. And I can do it in complete freedom. I would love for my office to be at the beach. Wouldn't that be cool if there's palm trees and ocean and waves? Cool. Yeah, that's an awesome work scenario setting. So as I build a business, as there's companies that want to work with me, as there's all sorts of that stuff happening, I'm simultaneously trying to get all of this stuff done, which is also a lot of work. And you're like, how do you do it all? I don't know, man. I'm going a little bit crazy. Everybody always says that I'm going a little bit crazy. I've been doing business for 15 years now. I can confidently say that I do work harder than most people. And I don't say that in a way that toots my horn, if that's what we call it. I'm just a very driven individual. I don't like sitting around at all. I don't like having a stagnant mind. I don't know how to rest very well. Also, that is part of it. I'm just go, go, go. If I'm awake enough to be here, cool. I'm working on something. This bracket right here, this thing, I had an hour in my time slot the other day, and I was like, cool, I'll come and make a bracket. Now that's done. It's something small. It's one bracket, but it's closer to being done. On that note, this whole thing probably looks different every time that I come and record in here, because I do get a little bit of stuff done every time. It is quite exhausting on my brain, though, because building all of this stuff in here, and I think I said this last week, maybe the week before, I can't remember anymore, I'm re-engineering a whole house, basically. Like, this had a bunch of stuff in it. It worked as an ambulance, but they had a lot of dead space and everything was very medical grade. I'm like, yeah, I don't want my house to look like an ambulance. So I'm building all of my own stuff. I'm designing it. I'm figuring out where does everything go. And then lots of it is I'm recycling metal. So I don't have just stock of new stuff everywhere. It's like, I got to figure out how to reuse pieces, and like, I got to cut stuff up that was in here. But if you cut up the wrong thing, then that goes to waste. I'm like, I don't want to waste that. And there's lots of like, let's figure stuff out as we go. Let's not be wasteful. Let's maximize everything that we have. And it's just exhausting doing that. Also, I am into this thing for extremely amounts of higher amount more money than I was anticipating. I don't know if I want to reveal how much money I've spent on this thing yet. Maybe I will closer to the end of the build. Just know that it is substantially a lot more, and I'm nowhere near being done. I've got guys that have asked me to build more of these things already. I'm like, I haven't even built the first one, guys. Like, I don't know how much this thing costs to build. This is a one-off. I mean, do we turn this into a business? Does the Eppic industry side of my business just become building this? And then do I hire some guys to, let's make a format. Let's do something we can replicate, and then you can scale it that way. Cool. Can I start building ambulances for people? Maybe. That's maybe something that I look into. I just don't have the brain space for that right now. I got to get this one done so I can just operate out of this one, and we're gonna work from there. Where was I going with that? I don't know. That's why I have notes here. So, on the Eppic Media business side of things, last week I made a video in response to Charlie Kirk being murdered. Very traumatic on me and a lot of people in the country, a lot of people around the world, actually. So I made a video on that, and then I just posted it so it was time relevant. And then I had a little bit of a mix-up with my VA, which it's totally fine. That's what happens. You're working with someone on the other side of the planet. A little bit of a mix-up. He started posting it to the wrong channel. I don't know if I want to say the wrong channel. I don't think I had, it's maybe not clear in my mind what I wanted everything to, where I wanted stuff to get posted, whatever the case. Started posting some of my own personal faith journey on my Eppic Media socials. I was like, well, that's not really business related stuff. But then those posts started going wild, and I started having people sending me messages, and like, clearly it's something that people want to talk about. Just kind of talking about it in a space that I wasn't anticipating. And so I'm like, well, where do I line all this stuff up? Where does it tie in? Do I need to repost that stuff to my personal page and on my Eppic Media stuff? Because it's not really business related, but at the same time on YouTube, then that's where this podcast is. So we are talking about mental health, and like, I don't know, mapping it all out. It's crazy because I don't know what to do. I'm just figuring it out. And then do you do it wrong? I don't know if there is a wrong. I'm just talking about what I'm experiencing and how I'm feeling. So what's the right way to do that? I don't know. So I'm literally in a place where I'm just doing it, navigate, and I'm pretty relaxed and laid back. Like, I'm not bothered a lot by, oh no, this is in the wrong place. Everything's going to hell. No,
This is the worst.
Yes, I question whether or not this was the right decision or this is the right decision. Where do you put stuff? And like, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't fundamentally change who I am, how I operate, the type of person that I want to be as I go through life. It's just a small detail. And I'm pretty good at pivoting and navigating and going with the flow. I don't let stuff bother me. I got other things to worry about than did this get posted on the right page. I don't know. Some people it bothers a lot. Me, doesn't really bother. Flowing from that, what I have written in my notes here is to remind you that the online space is more like a neighborhood. It's not so much a stage. It used to be a stage. It is very quickly becoming, especially on LinkedIn, is very quickly becoming, the internet is a neighborhood. So all of your neighbors are there. You want to talk with your neighbors. You want to be friendly with your neighbors. It's like, yeah, you're not there to preach at them. You're in the comments. You're having conversations in the comments. This is what I think about this. This is how I think about this. This is really funny. Haha, here's a joke in reply to that. And like, it's a neighborhood. I feel like lots of people have lost the value of a neighborhood. And I'm starting to see that online. That's kind of coming back. The neighborhood, the structure of a neighborhood. You remember block parties? If you're young, you probably don't have a hot clue what that is. But when I was a kid, we'd have block parties. Everybody on our street, on our block, once a summer, twice a summer, somebody would organize it. We'd all go it's like a big giant potluck, and you just go hang out with your neighbors. And the street would be blocked off, essentially, and we would all just hang out for an evening. Everybody brings some food. All the kids are running around playing together. And you just knew everybody in your neighborhood. You were friends with your neighbors. It was a totally great thing. So now, with the evolution of the internet and everything is online, the neighborhoods are like, they could be this big, but nobody can have 1,000 friends. It doesn't make sense. You can't compute that. But you get into a smaller, tighter knit community, you're commenting on certain people's stuff and you have conversations there. Yeah, you're welcoming other people to come in for sure. Not a problem. But you have regular people you know that are in your space and that you enjoy talking to and enjoy being with. And that's where the whole neighborhood aspect is now kind of showing up online, is in the comments section. Somebody posts something. I just think of David Smoke all the time. Hilarious guy, super funny. I consider him a great friend now. We have plans to hang out in person when I go down to his area. He's got a family. I don't. I can leave here and I can go travel around. It's a lot harder for him to do. He's not bringing his family up here to hang out in my shop. No. So when I go down there, I'm going to hang out with him and see him in person. But until then, we have a great relationship online. We're friends. He's a hilarious dude. If you're not following David Smoke, you probably want to, because he's freaking hilarious. And I'm glad that he is my neighbor. He's a high quality human. Love the guy. Love his message. Love everything that he's doing. And he's a good neighbor. On LinkedIn. Go find him on LinkedIn. There you go, Dave. Gotcha, bro. So, online is neighborhood. I talked about my ambulance, all that stuff already. I got things going a little bit in a different order here. As my online presence continues, all that sort of stuff, it's interesting. I see ebbs and flows in the activity on my social media. Because I'm in so many different areas and different things get attention. It's like right now, lots of my LinkedIn stuff seems to be on a deep dive. We'll just say I get a fraction of the amount of activity on my LinkedIn right now than I normally do. I don't know why. Is the algorithm changing? Have I all of a sudden become mundane and boring? Were people only following me because I'm down in Florida and like, oh, this is all crazy? And like, yeah, you can't have that happen every single day, but I'm building this thing so that I can go out and go around. And then will my numbers pick up once this thing is back out on the road? I don't know. It's hard to figure that out or navigate that, because I don't want my life to be structured around the numbers that I see, the amount of people that see my stuff. Now, a little bit of it is that I want to make sure that the stuff that I'm posting is engaging, it's entertaining, it has value to somebody. So there is some structure there. I don't want to just say post everything without having any intention behind it, because I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to operate as a business. I'm trying to build my own personal brand also, so that you trust me and want to work with me and we can flow that way. But just there's certain points where you're like, oh, things were like way up here and currently they're like over here. And you're like, am I doing something different, or am I doing something wrong, or just what is it? That's the biggest question that I always have is, what is it? Things have changed. Who is it? Me, or is it you, or is it LinkedIn? Whatever it is, I don't know. So I'm constantly figuring that one out, and that just might be the world of social media that we live in. Is that world is constantly changing, and it's just a lot of work to stay up with the times. Maybe that's all that it is. I don't know. I know that sometimes it bothers me, because I'm like, I used to have a ton of views and stuff, and now I don't. But I'm doing the same thing. What's going on? All that is to say that I want to remain consistent through my whole messaging, whether or not I'm getting lots of views or whether I'm not. Leadership is paramount, especially in today's culture right now. Post Charlie Kirk stuff, there is tons and tons and tons of great stuff happening. I see a shift change in America online. I don't know if it's because I'm in a bit of an echo chamber of what I see, and then that's finally getting more attention than what I normally don't see. That's possible, but at the same time, it feels like it's a healthy move from my point of view. This week, I've seen a bunch of videos of people having the Charlie Kirk effect. You got these redneck guys that have never worn a suit in their life, and all of a sudden their wife buys them a suit, and they're wearing this, and they feel proud, and they feel like encouraged, and they're like, all right, like I feel like a man. I feel like I'm more respectable as a person. I've put some effort into my personal image, how I look, and that helps them feel better. And I think that's a great thing. I see nothing wrong with that. If you put effort into how you look, I think every man should do that. You should value yourself at that level. Yeah, you can look like a schlub, like a bum, like you don't take care of yourself. But then same as when a woman puts makeup on. Yeah, women are beautiful without makeup, but then you put that on too because they want to feel pretty. They want to feel special. They want to feel a little bit extra beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Same with the guy. It feels good to be cleaned up every once in a while. So just seeing that, that's like, it's almost like it's almost like a trend that I'm seeing on social media. All these guys are like, I went and bought a suit. I feel like $1 million. Great. Everybody's all of a sudden on this encouragement kick, and they all feel really good about themselves. That's globally, that's a good thing. We want people to feel good about themselves, right? Yeah, we do. So I'm 100% on board with that, which it's very neat and interesting that Charlie Kirk, after he dies, he still has that impact on people. It's fascinating to just watch the change that I'm seeing in people in America in result to Charlie Kirk being murdered. And I don't know, it feels like it's a wake up that's happening. But again, I don't know if it's just because I'm in an echo chamber and most of my stuff is conservative anyways, and there's just a lot of tribute stuff happening to Charlie Kirk. I mean, some of it is a little bit weird, but I think net positive, I think it's a net positive in the overall scheme of things. When I look at myself personally, I shared a lot of Charlie Kirk's stuff. I like the message that he presented. I think he was a great leader, and as someone who is in a position of leadership also, I naturally bend towards a position of leadership. I was in pastoral ministry for about 15 years and had many, many young men under my leadership, and it was great. Had a fantastic time doing that. I feel like it's just shifting now. You're watching this video, that means that I'm talking to you. There is a leadership component to that. Whether you're older, whether you're younger, we're all learning from each other all at the same time. I'm not here to say I'm at the top and I know everything. I'm simply here just talking about what I'm experiencing right now and how I feel about things. I watched a lot of Charlie Kirk videos. I behave similarly how Charlie Kirk does. I want to be respectful of everybody, but I still want to be firm in what I stand in. I want people to be able to voice their opinion in a safe environment. I don't want people to be attacked in those environments. I don't want people to feel like they can't talk about stuff. And I think that's why my social media stuff is blowing up right now, because I'm simply just talking about how I feel, and then I invite conversation. Bam! I've had probably 30 people send me messages, and they're like, thank you so much for talking. I'm too scared to talk about this. Yeah. Why are you scared? Like, that's just how you feel. I mean, there's literally zero pressure there, unless the way that you operate on this planet is to live by the way that other people view you. I don't think that's healthy. So if you are that person, don't. I don't know what else. Like, I mean, to go to the Bible says how many times, like, don't live in fear. Cool. Easier said than done. I'll grant you that. But lots and lots of people live in fear. I've got to a place in my life where I don't let fear control me. I just don't let it control me. I am in charge of me. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is blessing other people, giving other people a platform to talk about stuff, to converse about stuff, to experience freedom. Freedom is one of the greatest things that we can experience. So I'm a proponent of providing that opportunity for people to experience. That is part of the point of this podcast, and then everything that gets cut into little clips and all that stuff. So look at that. That is my next point. I don't have all the answers. Every day, I just want to be an example of kindness and model integrity. I want my neighborhood to be full of those types of people. And it is. That's you guys that are watching. My neighborhood is great. I love my neighborhood. I've built an amazing neighborhood, and it's pretty swell. And I'm glad that it keeps on growing. That's lots of fun. Let's bring more high quality people in here. The more high quality people I'm surrounded by, the better the planet becomes, in my opinion. If I don't want shitty people in my area, you have high quality people, you become like those you're surrounded by, right? So I want to be surrounded by high quality people. Bring those people into my neighborhood. Hooray! We're all having a great time because we're all high quality people building towards a better, greater society as a whole. That's what I'm here for. That's what I want you guys to experience. And that's all I got for today. I've been talking, I've been rambling. I have lots of stuff that I do need to get to work on, but staying disciplined and doing a podcast every morning, talking about my feelings, just getting some of it written down on paper, just helps me just empty some of it so it's not sitting in my brain. And hopefully this has given you guys some value, maybe some entertainment. And yeah, we're going to keep on rocking and rolling on this thing. But first I got to go back to my office and I got to go set up some stuff so my editors can do their thing. Right on, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, it's a great day to have a great day.